Hey, this is the handicapped hero, Gregory Iron, and you're listening to the podcast where everybody knows your name. I'm not a good singer, but I tried. Wrestling Cheers.
Taking your way in the world today takes everything you got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name. And they're always glad you came. You want to go where you can see that troubles are all the same. You want to go where everybody knows your name. You want to go where you can see that troubles are all the same. You want to go where everybody knows your name.
And welcome back to Wrestling Cheers, where everybody knows your name. Okay, unless you're Japanese, and then we're probably going to have trouble with your name, and we'll get to that. This is Wrestling Cheers, where we like to talk about things going on in the Northeast Ohio independent wrestling scene. We preview shows, we review shows, and sometimes we even have interviews. This is a preview episode for this Friday's AIW show. More on that very, very shortly. I am your host. I am Heavy Set, and we are brought to you by the Trending Topics Network and NEO Sports Insiders. Please rate, review, and subscribe on wherever you're listening to this wonderful podcast, whether it be Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, YouTube, Spotify, and Podbean, WrestlingCheers.podbean.com. If you want to get a hold of us, you can find us on all of your social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, if those are all your social media. Facebook.com/WrestlingCheers, Twitter.com/WrestlingCheers, and Instagram.com/WrestlingCheers. Email, if you so choose to desire, WrestlingCheers@gmail.com. And we have a whatamaneuver.net store. And breaking news as of, 24 hours ago, that the Fight Kayden Fight shirts will be posted next Monday. And it was kind of mentioned in the past two episodes that we were told from What a Maneuver that they would not, they didn't want to get sued and all this kind of stuff. So it was going to be done through their website, but we were going to have to take the money and put in the orders, but they would ship out everything. Well, the email that I received just yesterday started off with the following line, and it said, "Change of plans. We're going live with this on the website, promotion and all." So this Monday, not exactly first thing. I think they do it around midday, but the Fight Kayden Fight shirts will be posted, and it's not just shirts. You can get a lot of different styles of type. It's mainly black. I was contemplating on doing a white one, but I think there would have to be some extra graphic design work done. I just didn't want to go through all those hoops. So right now, if you don't like black, sorry, that's what we're going to stick with. But you can get not only just a t-shirt, like the original run, you can get a hoodie, a tank top, a long sleeve shirt if you want, long sleeve sweatshirt, a baby onesie, and also women's and infant size t-shirts also available. There's a bunch of different ones, but those are some of your main versions. So please, next Monday, head on over to whatamaneuver.net, find the Wrestling Cheers store, buy a Fight Kayden Fight shirt, and all of the proceeds that we get, every bit of profit that we receive from the shirt sales, goes strictly into Kayden's GoFundMe. That's a pretty lengthy intro, but we're here to talk about Grado and Dick's Excellent Adventure this Friday, June 22nd at 8 p.m. at Music Links in Mentor-on-the-Lake, Ohio. And yeah, all tickets are just $20. Please get your tickets to this show. Now, let's get into previewing the show as a whole. First up, we just talked about him. Mr. Fight Kayden Fight himself, Kayden.
Hello.
How's it going? Now that you're not in the hospital, you're at home, relaxed, and you have a wrestling show to attend this weekend.
My wisdom teeth got pulled, so my face is still hurting a little bit, but I'm doing good.
I got the last show of the year? I got a tooth pulled and went straight to the show afterwards.
Thank you.
It was but the whole show up until Gage's match, I was very mild. I wasn't going nuts, but then that was Gage versus Donst, and I went berserk, so I just said fuck it. And then on top of all that, the next day I moved.
Yeah, no thanks. I'll pass.
And this week we have a third chair, and I don't even remember the last time he was on the show. We tried to get him on not that long ago, but it is young Ed himself, Ed from Pod Van Dam.
I'm not sitting in a chair. I'm sitting on the floor. I'm a floor sitter.
Why you? Really?
Yeah, I really am. Like, you could put me, like, there's an open chair in here. Nah, man, I'm on a pillow on the floor with my legs crossed. That's how I sit a lot.
Are you wearing a Stone Cold shirt too?
No, I'm not. But I do think Triple H is a doofus, which we'll get to later. I think that word got me in trouble with Kikutaro. I think that's what did it. We'll talk about that later.
Okay. Before we started recording, I think right before Kayden got on the call, Ed had mentioned to me that he had said something to Kikutaro that. How did you put it? Do you think he doesn't like you?
I said a tweet and tagged him in it, and he said something back that made it imply like I was saying something rude to him. And I think it was lost in translation because I wasn't. I wasn't being rude at all to him. I was being rude to Triple H.
Did you tweet this from? I know which one it was. This was recently.
Yeah, it was during Takeover.
I didn't see his response. I just seen.
Okay, so
because this is the second time he's done this.
Okay, so I Kikutaro's backstage at NXT, and he's tweeted a picture of him backstage, and then a picture of Steve Corino throwing him out. And I quote tweeted it and told Triple H that if he takes a mark pick with Kikutaro, I won't make fun of him ever again. Everything will be fine. And then I told him, balls in your court, doofus. And then Kikutaro quote tweeted that and basically told me that if I don't like what he has to say, to mute him. I was like, oh no, you're not the doofus.
Wow.
Paul's the doofus.
Still don't like Paul.
Oh, God, no. No, I don't like Triple H. I don't like Paul Levesque. I don't like any of it. It's all bad.
This is a conversation that we need to get to on a separate podcast that we talked about earlier in the weekend.
Yeah.
This past weekend, I should say.
Yeah, he's trash. I don't like him. CM Punk was great.
Balls in your court, Ed. Anyway, so we got 10 matches announced right now. That's a lot of wrestling. As far as I know, this is the only match that we're going to have. But actually, oddly enough, one of these matches has not been announced as of this recording. I wouldn't be surprised, and this is probably what's going to happen. It's probably going to be announced tomorrow of this recording, which this gets released early Thursday morning, right at midnight. So it's probably going to be released, I'm guessing, Wednesday. If not, if you're listening right at midnight, you might have the jump on one of these matches. So quickly, we'll mention every single match, and then the format that we always like to do for this is pick 3 matches, go in depth on them, probably go on different tangents, especially with Ed being here. And then when we're done, we will go through the matches one more time, just bit by bit, and make picks. So here are the matches we have for this particular show. We have, and I'm going to need some assistance on this first match that I'm going to mention. It's like I mentioned in the intro, Wrestling Cheers, where everybody knows your name unless you're Japanese, and we might need some help. So,
I can help you with that, Justin. It's pronounced Alley Cat.
I thought I was going to have trouble pronouncing Dick Justice's opponent. If you don't like him, you can mute him. Anyway, let's... First up, we have Alley Cat versus...
Kaharu Hinata.
I need to put this on loop somewhere and listen to it on my way to the show. Just you saying it over and over and over and over and over again. Or better yet, I have it where you say it, then there's a 2-second pause, and then you say it again, then there's a 2-second pause. So it's one of those learn a language tapes.
Excellent idea.
So we have that match. Then Dick Justice versus... who's that, Ed?
Oh, wow. You know what? Actually, I don't remember who Dick Justice is facing, and my phone is not on the card anymore.
Kikutaro.
Is it Kikutaro?
Yes.
Oh, that'll be fun. I hope he's not sore with me. I hope we can be friends.
Zach Thomas versus Zach Thomas, Ryder Reed, Wes Barkley, and TKD versus No Consequences. Spider-Nate Webb versus Dominic Guarini. To Infinity and Beyond versus Eddie Only and Danhausen of the production. Party Never Stops. Versus the Young Studs. The production of Magnum CK and Frankie Flynn versus the Philly Marino Experience. Duke Money versus Weird World. Derek Director versus PB Smooth. And Dr. Dan versus Matt Justice. That is 10 matches for this show. I don't think they're sneaking any in.
You never know.
I don't think.
Boogeyman could always show up.
One day.
Just like he could have won J-Lit.
He could have if he was in it.
but he did.
Can't tell me that he couldn't have.
What about Great Khali?
Khali could have won it. That would have been a good pick.
Ali versus Kaplan.
I would say Khali versus Hornswoggle, but...
Oh, no, Khali versus Weird Body. I've thought about this a lot. Who would be the perfect Khali opponent? It's Weird Body.
Oh, my God. I really want
that's
that
a real
match.
thing I put thought into.
I don't know if he wants that, but that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Can Facade, like, pull some strings and get Khali over here for Absolution?
He was a trainer at the school for a little bit.
Is that for real?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's where he went for, what was that, like 6, 7, 8 months?
7 months.
Yeah.
What do you think they do in like their downtime together, like Facade and Khali? I can't even imagine.
Do you think Facade was teaching him some of those, high risk moves? Like, oh, do this, jump off the rope, do this, flip, about.
No, I think he's teaching them how to tag stuff.
Laces.
Yeah.
All right, let's.
Because he can get up really high and get other places other graffiti artists can't, because he's so big.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah.
But then Facade could, like, jump and flip to a lot of places, too, so.
Maybe Khali could. We don't know.
Khali just doesn't have kneecaps anymore.
Just because we've never seen someone do flips before doesn't mean they can't do flips.
You tell me Khali can do a 630?
I'm saying prove to me that he can't.
Yeah, I don't know if we could do that.
No. You wait. They're going to bring him in someday at AIW, and he's going to do some crazy shit.
Absolution 10.
Let's get into some of these matches. The first of the 3 that we picked, let's talk about the return. Okay, not even the return of the J-Lit tournament, but one of the surprises of J-Lit weekend, Spider-Nate Webb versus Dominic Garrini.
Dom continuing these fantastic matches on menor shows.
I mean, he's had a good record, just good matches in general. Like, what was the last...
menor shows, it's been Jimmy Rave, there's MJF, I'm forgetting someone in between there. Help me out.
Oh, so now I gotta pull up the results.
There was someone in between there.
I'm blanking. So it would be someone in between? Because... Okay, let's move backwards. The last Men on the Lake show was...
No, it was Myron Reed.
Okay. I'll say the last Men on the Lake show was Wet Bandits.
Vance Warner on that show.
UFC rules. UFC 1 rules. So, yeah, that fills it. Last one before that was the 36 Chronic Chambers. That was definitely MJF. That was another great one. Night of the Creeps. The last time we seen the AIW women's title in AIW. Or no, was that the last time?
No, Absolution.
Absolution, yeah, that's right. That was when I gave her beer, but she was at Absolution, that's right. That was Myron Reed, which you were correct on that one. House of the Rising Sun, obviously, the man's name, or his theme right there. Jimmy Rave, and then nothing's been mentioned before that, so we're talking, Season of the Witch. Ryan Kaplan.
Oh, yeah, wear shoes, bitch. I remember that. That was awesome. That was actually a really awesome time. That was good. Oh man, I just went back there mentally for a second. That was a great match.
That match was fun.
And then
what did he yell at that? What did Kaplan say to the kid in the front row when he took his beer?
I don't remember.
Oh, I remember. He said, "Give me that damn beer, you twink." It was real weird. It was real weird.
We really need.
It was a weird night, man. I miss Kaplan.
We need Kaplan right now. I'm pretty sure he would piss off some fans. So we really need him right now.
Duke Money, you need some muscle.
No, what Duke Money needs, and we're not really going to be talking about that match, but Duke Money needs a personal referee. And I think they know a referee could be in their back pocket. The only reason I wouldn't want to see it, though, is because it would be maybe a rehashing a little bit of Flexor Industries. But as I'm trying to pull up his real name, because I totally forgot about it, because we have former member of Duke Money, who is now a referee, Mr. Tommy Phillips, at The Fit Ref, also known to
ref now?
known to many as Sean Schultz.
Huh. Just saw that.
I did on my personal account. I quote tweeted and I said Duke Money needs a personal ref. Here's my biggest concern. I wanted to put it in tweet form, but I'm like, I need a picture to do it, so it won't work as well. But are we sure Sean Schultz can count past 2? Because he's very infatuated with that number. So I don't want him to just stop at 2 and just like always raise his hand up.
Oh, so you think he was holding up a 2? I always thought it was like he was holding up peace sign, like a Japanese girl.
He could be holding up a V for 5.
It's true. There's lots of things he could have been playing rock, paper, scissors, or preparing to, but like being bad at it and just showing his hand.
He could be a fan of Venture Brothers.
What do you got, Kayden?
I've got nothing.
Shout out to anybody who got the Venture Brothers line.
What's that show? Never heard of it.
I haven't watched that show in forever. I think I dropped off at like after season 2 or 3. And I really want to, that's one of the Adult Swim shows I really want to go back and rewatch and catch up. But anyway, Spider-Nate Webb. We got to talk about this. Being back.
The theme music.
Yeah. If I remember, I'll put the theme music behind this. Luckily, it's the first match we talk about, so it's fine. But Spider-Nate Webb and Dominic Garrini, I'm just curious to see Spider-Nate Webb, which he has been at a Men Are on the Lake show, if I'm correct.
No.
Or no, he hasn't been. I thought someone told me he did, but he hasn't. So now we're going to see Spider-Nate
It's only
Webb.
his third AIW appearance.
I will take your word for it. This versus the World.
Jalen.
Oh, this will be his third. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So fucking, we'll have him running around this bar. The question is, how many times does Teenage Dirtbag get played? Once or twice? I'm going with once because he did 2 at Mount Carmel. There's no way he can get that. No way he beats 2. So I'm going with once. But he's going to go beginning to end.
Yeah, just going to be once, but it's going to be the full song.
New Jack style, and they play it through the whole match.
I'm not opposed to this.
Wait, what'd you say, Kayden? That just cut out.
I said I'm not opposed to that.
Yeah, just New Jack style. You just keep it going till the match is over. Everybody would love it. You're telling me that wouldn't just be a giant party? That'd be a great time.
No wrestling, just dancing.
Yeah, just a fun time. Too bad Tracy Smothers isn't on this show. That'd have been good.
I miss Tracy Smothers so much. The amount of people that don't like him is odd. I know there's a handful of people that don't like him for the Confederate flagship, but I don't know. That's the nitpick in my opinion. So
there's lots of things to not like him for besides that.
Like,
but he's not a very good wrestler.
I mean,
I thought that's where we're going to go with it, but I don't care that he's not a good wrestler. I don't care at all.
he's entertaining as fuck.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Like, still one of my favorite matches that he was in was versus Cole Cabana.
Dead presidents, yes.
I'll take your word for it. That's on Powerbomb, right?
The last time I checked it was. They sometimes remove shows.
But I think it's a newer show. It wasn't part of the last update, but I think it was part of a recent-ish update. If that is on there, I might either watch the whole show or fast forward to that match and watch it, because I haven't watched it since that day. And I just remember fucking laughing my ass off Cole Cabana and Tracy Smothers. And there was a particular point in the match where they were both holding weapons behind their back. I think Clemens might have been the ref.
Correct.
And like whoever had their back to the ref was like mimicking like whatever words to the other opponent. I can't even describe it. It's been years. But I just remember dying laughing during that match. And I really want to rewatch it. But the whole point is I miss Tracy Smothers. So this should be a very entertaining match, I would think, because I've often called, Dom, big match Dom, and obviously this is one of those opponents that, it's a top-notch opponent. Curious to see how it all plays out. I hope it's early in the show, too.
I can't even picture what this match is going to be. You know what I mean? It's just they're very different. These are 2 very different wrestlers.
Dom's the serious MMA guy, and Nate Webb is funny dancing guy. Totally different.
Has there been Spider-Nate Webb versus Tracy Smothers?
You got to think at some point, right?
Like, I might be adding that to my dream match card.
That has to have happened, considering how much those 2 were on some of the early 2000s IWA shows.
It needs to be recent. It needs to happen.
Again.
Yes. I really want another comedy show. Like, let's do it. Like, fucking, what was it? Grado versus Smothers and Kikatar versus Colt were fucking great.
Isn't this kind of a comedy show?
No. I mean, it... Like, by the title, okay, Grado and Dick's Excellent Adventure, pointed out last week, it's a movie that Kayden's never seen, but...
I've never seen it.
Ha!
But I would say...
I know it.
Do you know the movie, Kayden?
I've heard of it. I've never seen it,
I've heard of it.
Okay.
I've never seen it.
Okay. Give you guys credit. You're both young. You're both like 18 and 19. It's understandable.
We're going with that?
Puberty's very close in your rearview mirror, so it's understandable. Yeah, I mean, when you look at the flyer, with it being, a Bill and Ted reference, and the 3 people you see is Grado, Dick Justice, and Kikutaro, you would lean towards that, but Kikutaro, Dick Justice, okay, that's going to be a comedy match. Spider-Nate Webb versus Dominic Garrini, more on Spider-Man Web is going to be a little bit towards comedy, but okay, Nick Gage versus Grado, I'm waiting for that match to happen because I felt like if at J-Lit Night 2, if we would have had Colt Cabana versus Nick Gage, that would, no pun intended, that would gauge how much comedy we would see in this match.
There's going to be so much comedy in this match. Have you ever seen Grado in Monsters Ball? Grado's not doing anything.
Okay.
Dude, he went up like a big old sack of shit for that black hole slam and the thumbtacks. He did not want to have any part of that happening. You have to go watch that before this Nick Gage match. Gives you a real good gauge on what Grado does in a hardcore match. He's not doing shit. This is gonna be just all comedy.
Then the only other comedy match might be Duke Money versus Weird World.
Well, what about Alley Cat and what's her name, Kayden?
Haru Hinata.
Yeah, Alley Cat's like a human cat. She's like, is she playing it serious though?
Yes and no.
Okay, I get what you mean.
I don't want to spoil things.
Okay.
If you've never seen her in person before, you'll find out.
Yeah, so I don't know how that match is going to go because I don't know how, Kayden, what's the name?
Koharu Hinata.
I don't know what her style's like. I don't know whether it's going to be, regular Japanese style or whether she's actually going to go comedy. But then again, I mean, I don't know. Is she traveling with Kikutaro, do you think?
I'm not sure.
It might be a really bad honk. It might be a really bad. It might be a really bad stereotype. But I don't know. Two Japanese wrestlers, same show, maybe. Anyway.
Yes, sir. Wes Barkley back at you. And you see, a lot of people have been asking me, Wes, how do you stay in such good shape? What do you do to work out? What do you eat? Well, today, I'm going to answer that. Today, I'm going to show you a staple in the Wes Barkley diet. Right here. 12 donuts, baby. Whew! See, usually I do the Krispy Kremes, but Dunkin's will do. They say abs are made in the kitchen. Hey, I'm filming something here. What the hell are you guys doing?
Making the Westview signature pickles.
Oh, nice work.
Hey Wes, can we get some of those donuts?
We'll be in touch. That's right. This Friday, June 22nd, Maserati Wes Barkley makes his return to AIW. And you see no consequences? I'm going to crush you like I crushed these 12 donuts. Easily. And you can bet on that.
Another match we got to get into. And we didn't get... Well, technically, did we get... We did not...
That's the train.
We did not get both of your guys' reaction for this team and how they debuted, and that's Zach Thomas, Ryder Reed, Wes Barkley, and TKD versus No Consequences of Joshua Bishop, Trey Lamar, Chase Oliver, and Gary the King Baller. Now, let's rewind a little bit back to J-Lit weekend and the Chandler Biggins Memorial Tag Team Tournament. Like, Ed, were you there for that? Yeah, you were, right? You were there for
No, I was not.
You weren't?
No, I worked that day. I didn't get off work till like 2.
I thought you were there.
I got there literally right after it.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, dude, you were in the cookout picture.
Yeah,
the tailgate
right
picture.
When the show ended, I was pulling in.
Okay, that makes total sense. Okay, so you didn't get to experience Wes Barkley.
No, or his friends.
And the multitude of them. So
he's got a lot of friends. Good for him. I don't have many, and he seems to have a lot, and that's a good thing.
It's been talked about a little bit on the IW podcast. It's probably going to be talked about again here in a couple weeks when they get to it. So probably not this week. It might be the week after if they do the same kind of format that we did, one show per episode. So, Kayden, tell us how you feel about actually not just Wes Barkley, but all 4 of these debuts that we had for that show: Zach Thomas, Ryder Reed, TKD, and Wes Barkley.
I had seen Zach elsewhere, so...
Yeah, that's something that we did kind of tackle, that Zach Thomas has been around a little bit. So
he's definitely improved, though, from what I'd already seen of him. He's a lot better.
He has a relative in wrestling, and there's a little bit of, the apple, I can't say the apple falls too far from the tree because they're brothers, but you could tell how well he worked with the crowd. That's very similar to his brother, and I was really happy about that. So I'm curious to see what Zach does, but how about the rest of them?
TKD won me over really quick because I like people that kick really hard. Ryder Reed, I don't have an opinion on just yet, but I think I need to see another match or two of his before I really decide. And Wes, same thing. I still need to see another match or two.
I feel like Wes Barkley has a great charismatic personality, so
which is going to get him somewhere.
It's good, yeah. I feel like with Ryder Reed, this is just the beginning for him. I feel like he's going to be one of those wrestlers, starts out one way, but then he's going to mold it, and it's going to go from there. I could tell he has a direction he wants to go, and I'm curious to see where he goes with that. Curious to see where TKD goes and everything with him, and obviously, I already talked about Zach Thomas, but we're going to have New School versus Newer School, with the members of No Consequences being the New School, Newer School being the new students. And we seen last month at the Chandler Biggins Memorial Tag Team Tournament where, you know, these four guys had to fight each other, but now they got to work together. And I don't know, like when I look at this four-man team, like in general, and kind of what I said, like with Ryder Reed, I feel like Ryder Reed and Zach Thomas have a future tag team. There's something that I could really get behind with those two.
Because they're both scary and angry?
Yeah. Tattoos.
Fair enough.
But sometimes that's all you need. And the funny thing is, you know, last year around this time, you know, we had kind of the members of No Consequences in matches against each other. And now they're a team. They've managed to work together, but I don't know if the New School team is going to work together. What about you? What do you guys think?
I think they're a lot like New Nexus in the sense that they're going to be quickly forgotten about as a team.
Oof.
You know what I mean? But then they'll go on to do other things like be Bray Wyatt and
they're
whatever.
Not going to be a permanent team, basically.
Yeah. It's just going to be a short-term thing.
So what you're saying is the new students, they're going to have a egotistical new leader that whenever he takes over being the leader, he's not really going to take them in a really good direction. And then when he gets a little bit of, you know, notoriety on the show, that he's going to push all them aside and everybody's going to forget about them because the original guy was too egotistical. I got it.
Yeah. But don't worry about that egotistical guy, because usually somebody comes along and just, you know, kicks him in the gut and slams him down, pins him, and then goes back into retirement. This is normally how these things go.
Okay, yeah, I had that different way. Yeah, well, at least the one guy's used to losing all the time.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah, so I'm curious to see with this the year that we've had for No Consequences. Like I love them, but you know, it's the first half of their year was great, and then I feel like the second half, I don't know what to think about them in AIW. Also, no AJ.
Kinda went hit.
Yeah. Also, I do want to know. I do believe there's no AJ Gray for this show.
Not advertised.
Yeah, not advertised. I mean, if you're coming all the way up from Memphis, I'm hoping you're advertised on something. He can't really be a bartender at the show, so
never know.
But yeah. Any other thing you guys want to say about this match?
Flips.
Yeah, I mean,
flips.
Nah, I'm good.
I'm curious to see more of the new students' style of what gets brought out of them. Yeah, they had their debut show, and it seems like in your debut match at those shows, you go above and beyond probably what you're normally going to do. So I think we're going to get a point where, you know, their regular style is going to show. And maybe a dynamic about this match that I didn't even think about. Could this match be the West Barkley Nation versus the Bishop Brigade?
Good point.
Who wins?
Nobody.
Friendship wins. That's who wins there.
Yay, friendship.
The thing is, Wes Barkley came in hot. I had heard 90 on the AEW podcast. It actually sounded like over 100 people showed up for Wes Barkley. I don't think any student in AEW school history has showed up with that many. Maybe there's been 90 people that showed up within a whole class, like whole family members. Or maybe let's round it up to roughly where it was, like somewhere around 100. I don't think anybody's had that much. Could be wrong. The Bishop Brigade was a lot. Bishop Brigade over the last year that I know I had mentioned, they kind of dwindled.
A little bit.
And that's something you can expect. I'm expecting Wes Barkley to retain a lot of that fan base. And this being a bar show, with how they acted at the Chandler Biggins Memorial Tag Team Tournament in a freaking gym, a church gymnasium, imagine what it will be at Men Are on the Lake, at Music Links, in a real bar.
Even worse.
If you can get all 90 to 100 or however many of them to show back up, or at least half, that's going to be pretty crowded. It's going to be huge. Which if that's the case, these guys will be on second half semi-main.
To keep everyone there.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, I would love to see the Bishop Brigade show up. I'd love to see the revenge of the Bishop Brigade, basically. Like, oh, okay, you get that many people show up? Okay, we're going to come back, and we're all going to wear shirts. We're going to wear professionally made shirts, not, some iron-on letters on white T-shirts. Like, we did this. We've been here. Like, it's going to be a little dynamic, which, I don't think anybody's talked about. Something I'm curious to see. Well, we have one other match. And to talk about of the three that we picked, and you have to go with the AIW Absolute title match when it's being defended on a show. Nick fucking Gage versus Grado.
Oh boy.
I know I already mentioned, but it's definitely true of how much comedy we're going to see in this match. And it makes me upset because we didn't get to see Colt Cabana versus Nick Gage. But we're going to see Grado now versus Nick Gage. Whew. It's going to be a doozy.
Again, oh boy.
Oh, man.
Does Grado die?
Yeah. Yeah. Come on now. What, are you going to say that he doesn't die, and then Nick Gage hears that you think that he can't kill Grado? And then he's mad at you, too?
No. Don't say these things. Nick Gage isn't listening.
No, Nick Gage loves us. He sees us in a crowd, and he comes to hug us. We've been hugged by Nick Gage. Have you been hugged by Nick Gage, Ed?
No.
Do you want to get hugged by Nick Gage?
Yeah, because he did cut that one promo where he says that he gives hugs to his friends, and he seemed really enthusiastic about it. So I bet he's a good hugger.
I remember us talking about that promo.
Yeah, dude, he loves to give hugs to his friends.
Did you say something about him maybe being a fan of Bailey or something?
Yeah, well, of course he is. But not karaoke with Kenny Omega. Not a fan of that. Loves hugs, though. He's an anomaly. He's weird. Hard to figure out that Nick Gage.
Are we doing the karaoke after the show? Are you going?
Yeah, man, if I can sing Ignition Remix by R. Kelly, for sure.
I'm debating, because I know I'm going to a show on Saturday, and they always have an after party, and that's always with karaoke. And I have my handful of songs. This is something I've never really talked about on a podcast yet, because it's something fairly new. I've actually been practicing karaoke. Now, you're probably asking, how do you practice karaoke? Well, I'm glad you asked. I just go into YouTube, type in whatever song and with karaoke with it, and then they put those karaoke videos that you with all the lyrics and the music on YouTube now, so you can practice. And I've come to find out, because of my voice, there's a lot of songs I can't do, but Elvis and Johnny Cash are in my wheelhouse, and I can do them pretty well. But I've been practicing, and I kind of want to do it.
Only Ignition Remix.
Only Ignition. Is that your go-to?
Yeah, that's it. It's not my go-to. Like, that's the only one. That's it.
That's the only one.
Yeah.
Why?
Karaoke's not fun unless I can sing Ignition Remix by R. Kelly.
Why?
Because it's like the greatest song ever. Like, I know he's not a good human, and I understand that, but like, it's a great song. It's like the greatest song ever written. My
go-to is Forgot About Dre by Dr. Dre and Eminem. I can do it without looking at a lyric screen. It's the only song that I say that I am flawless in, because I love it so much. Kayden, do you have a karaoke song that you do?
Nope.
Have you ever gone karaoke?
Nope.
If you did karaoke, what would you do?
No, I don't do that. I can't.
I'm imagining you, because you love wrestling so much, and obviously with all of us it's not a knock, but I'm picturing you doing a wrestling theme. I don't know what it would be, though.
It has to be like a real song that's a wrestling theme, though.
Yeah. I got curious and typed in WWE karaoke. Granted, there's just a lot of wrestlers doing karaoke in their car, but the first actual song that came up, not surprising, because it does make a whole lot of sense. And Living Color, Cult of Personality.
Interesting.
I'm trying to figure out what wrestlers does Kayden like, that if he did karaoke, like that's what he would do. I almost want to say, even though it wouldn't be a karaoke song you could find, but Gargano's theme, Cursed Icon, down. Would you do Nick Gage's theme?
How would that work?
It has
Kayden. Wait 5 minutes for the intro.
Yeah,
to be over.
I was about to say, Kayden, do you realize For Whom the Bell Tolls does have lyrics?
Yeah, I know. It's a 5-minute intro mainly.
Yeah. Come on, Ed, help me out. What wrestlers does Kayden like?
Sandman. Teenage Dirtbag.
Heidi's AIW theme when she was with Antisocial, which was Nas. I forget the song title off the top of my head, Not a huge Nas fan.
You can get Michael Porter to do that one.
That'd be great. Anyway, Nick Gage versus... Oh, you could do either. I mean, we mentioned Nick Gage. You could also do Grado.
I have to learn the lyrics first.
Technically, you don't have to learn the lyrics. The lyrics are on the board or on the screen. I've learned this because I don't know this song well enough to do it on karaoke. And then I practice and I go, oh yeah, I guess if you know how it goes, you can just read the lyrics and be fine. Anyway, Grado versus Nick Gage. We mentioned who is going to die.
Yeah, Grado.
Probably going to be Grado.
He's going to die.
Yeah.
Nick Gage is going to moiter him.
He's going to moiter?
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like the Jewish version of
he's gonna murder him, but like in a cartoony way. It's gonna be moiter.
Are you saying
he's gonna moiter him?
Are you saying Nick Gage is a cartoon?
I'm saying this match is gonna be cartoony.
Do you want to see a Nick Gage cartoon?
Oh yeah, dude. I've said it multiple times. My dream YouTube show is Justin Summers and Mike Moy reviewing wrestling shows with a Nick Gage puppet. Little puppet Nick Gage just hanging out with you guys.
You're still all about the Nick. What did you get?
Yeah, man, and he would have like a little high pitched, cute voice. Like, oh man, it would be so cute.
Have you gotten the Nick Gage puppet made yet?
No, because you guys won't do it because you're scared of Nick Gage.
You know what other character, real life person, has a character version of them as a puppet?
Triple H.
Yes.
Yeah, but like. Nick Gage puppet would be totally different.
Are you gonna call
It'd be so cute.
Are you gonna call him Puppet Gage?
No, it'd just be Nick Gage puppet.
No creative name.
So is he? Does that mean he's related to Puppet?
Okay, this is how I see it in my head. All right, so it's just like a little felt puppet, like a Muppet, right?
Okay.
But he's just got like big, cute, adorable anime eyes, and just a real high pitched, like squeaky voice. Totally unintimidating, but like. Has the bandana, is like dressed like Nick Gage.
Okay, instead of doing that as a puppet, how about you commission the Nick Gage anime?
Oh yeah, man, it'd be like I'm gonna piece this together in my head right now. Okay, so the Nick Gage anime would be like a 12-episode slice of life anime about Nick Gage just got out of jail and has to like assimilate back into society, but it's like an anime world, so it's Nick Gage, the real human, like. Learning how to live in an anime world.
Would it be in Japanese?
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I'm picturing, okay, if that would be the case, I'm picturing everybody else is Japanese. But
yeah.
But he speaks English. Like, he's the only one speaking English. They can talk back and forth understanding each other, but it's going to be everybody speaks Japanese but Nick Gage.
Nick Gage is going to voice Nick Gage.
Yes.
Tons of F-bombs.
Yes.
And then everything around him is just like, it's like a cute magical girl show world. Like Sailor Moon.
Is there
like Madoka Magica until it's sad.
Okay, is there a term for that shit in anime where like it's supposedly like they're jumping in the air or something and it's just like a bunch of colors behind them and they're talking?
Oh, a henshin sequence? Yes.
Sure, okay. It's a bunch of that, but then like Nick Gage is like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, and Nick Gage just beats people up.
Do you think we could get New Japan to help us with the funding for this anime?
No, but I think if you bring it up to Kikutaro, he might be able to help. I won't do it, though, because he's cross with me.
It's your fault.
All right. Any more about Nick Gage and Grado?
Sorry, there's another train going by. Like, this apartment's cool and everything, but it's next to train tracks, and I didn't really realize that until just now.
The funny thing is, since moving, like, I've moved away from all the noises. Like, where I was in the particular town I was in, it was right next to a McDonald's. So there was actually at night, because it was open 24 hours, there'd be a lot of traffic coming in and out. And there was always within that certain area, like, I swear to God, motorcycles. And anytime they left McDonald's or the intersection that was close by, they're always just, getting speed as fast as they fucking could. So all of a sudden you just hear going down the road. If there was anything emergency going on, there was the fire station and everything right down the road. So there were times I know those came through on podcast recordings that I would do, or I remember at times, like literally particular shows that I would do alone. I would like, if I heard a car or something coming before the microphone picked it up, I would pause it. And then as soon as it was gone, I'd start talking again. Obviously unpause, but anyway. So now that like now you're close to all the noise now. I'm not.
Yeah, right next to train tracks.
Yeah, that stuff sucks. I've lived by train tracks. Not next to it, but in a neighborhood really close to a set of tracks. So it was that whole thing of, you're with a group of friends and everything, and the train comes by, and you don't get annoyed by it. You just all stop talking, and you wait for it to, at least the front to move out of the vicinity, so you're not hearing the horn and everything, and then you continue talking. That takes years of training. Anyway. Anything more on Nick Gage and Grado?
Yeah, this match is I think it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be a fun match. I think that we can't say that about a lot of Nick Gage matches, but I think this one will be fun.
All right, let's go through all these matches and pick some winners, shall we? We will start with Alley Cat versus...
Not helping here. Go ahead.
Oh, I see how it is. Koharu Hinata.
You did it.
Okay, Alley Cat versus Pokemon Sushi. Kiaru.
I'm biased. Hinata wins.
Ooh, I'm telling Alley Cat on Friday.
She's gonna end up hearing this and be very mad.
I don't know if she listens to this, but...
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm going with the debut in Alley Cat. She's a fan of Whataburger, just like I am. And I'm looking for a Whataburger fanny pack now, so I can be as cool as her. How about you, Ed?
I'm going to go. I have no basis of either of these two. I have nothing to go on, so I'm just going to go with Alley Cat because I can say her name.
They're both debuting, so...
Yeah, so someone's going to debut with a loss, but I think it's a higher chance that Alley Cat comes back, and I really hope she does. There's a bunch of talent that I see elsewhere that I really want to see get a shot in AIW, her being one of them. So she got her shot. Definitely hope she comes back. Well, it'd be great to see a women's division in general, but that's something that we have to just wait for, basically.
We shall see what happens.
How about Dick Justice versus Kikutaro? Now, this is going to be a fun fucking comedy match. Kikutaro's another dude. Ever since he debuted in AIW, he hasn't had a bad match, in my opinion. He is funny as fuck. Love him so much. And the Buffet Club shirt's one of my favorites. So, a World War II rematch. Japan versus the US of A. I'm going Kikutaro.
I'm going with Dick Justice.
I'm going to go with Kikutaro so he stops thinking that I called him a doofus.
But you did.
I didn't. I called Triple H a doofus because he is.
That's why.
I didn't say anything mean about Kikutaro.
I'm going to apologize to Kikutaro.
Yeah, I'm going to tell him.
You're going to ruin our chances of this anime. That's what you're going to do, Justin.
Zach Thomas, Ryder Reed, Wes Barkley, and TKD versus No Consequences. I think No Consequences, they have the history of working as a team together, even though technically last show they were against each other too. But they went against each other when they needed to, but now they're back as a team, and I think you're going to see, the four newer students kind of have a little bit of dysfunction.
Yeah, I'm going No Consequences.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the other team then. They don't have a name yet, but I'll go with them.
Even more No Consequences?
Yeah. But can you get even less than no?
No more consequences?
Something catchy like that.
NKOTB.
What?
NKOTB. Yeah, you guys are young. New kids on the block.
Oh, they had an acronym, huh?
Yeah, I think towards the end of their run, they tried to hip it up and become NKOTB.
Well, hey, no one can never take that away from them. They got an acronym.
But yeah, NKOTB versus No Consequences. Spider Nate Webb versus Dominic Garrini. Dominic Garrini is not a guy you can bet against unless he's going against Filthy Tom Lawler. So last time I checked, Spider Nate Webb is not Filthy Tom Lawler, so Dominic Garrini.
You don't know that.
I mean, I would say, have you seen him in the same room? But I have.
Oh. Yeah, I have too.
Kills it. Never mind. Different people.
So, yeah, I'm going Dominic Garrini.
Yeah, Dom. Yeah, for sure.
Kayden?
I will go with Dom.
Okay. Clean sweep for Dom. To Infinity and Beyond versus Eddie Only and Danhausen of the production versus Party Never Stops versus the Young Studs.
What does Eric do to die in this match?
Yeah, I kind of want to go with the Young Studs, but I'm just not going to go against production. So I'll go production wins.
I'm going to go with young studs, actually. Even if Eric dies a lot.
Production. Yeah, they don't lose a whole lot.
Speaking of the production versus the Philly Marino Experience, representing the production will be Magnum CK and Frankie Flynn. Yeah, there's no stopping the production, so I gotta go with them again here.
Here's where I go with the production.
No, I'm going to go PME.
Really, after you say the production doesn't lose?
I said they don't lose a lot. That implies that sometimes they do, and this is the time.
Okay.
This is sometimes.
Obviously, as demonstrated over J-Lit weekend, Ethan Page did not follow rule number 1. He didn't keep his eye on the ball after I gave him a berth into the JT Lightning Invitational Tournament, as promised. And he squandered that away by losing to Matthew Justice in round 1. And then, on his kindness of my heart and my connections with Matt Wadsworth, AIW president, I got him 2 championship matches day 2 of J-Lit. The first one, Ethan declined and let me get assaulted by Nick Gage as he stood there and watched. And then night 2, for the AIW Tag Team Championships, he couldn't even beat Hornswoggle. So I, Dr. Daniel C. Rockingham, am going to do something that a lot of people are going to call me crazy for. At Grado and Dick's Excellent Adventure, I, Dr. Daniel C. Rockingham, am challenging Matthew Justice. So I can show Ethan Page exactly why dedication, confidence, and respect, and rule number 1 is exactly the way to a new beginning.
Dr. Daniel C. Rockingham versus Matt Justice.
I'm going to go with Dr. Deathmatch.
Yes, I'm also going to go... Actually, I'm not going with Dr. Deathmatch. I'm going with Matt Justice because the dude has kicked ass for months, and I think this is his revenge tour after J-Lit.
I will go with Justice because he can't dive on me at this venue.
Oh, I'm going to take all the upper level seating, and like you're going to have to sit like on the floor.
I'll just go stand up by commentary.
I'm just picturing you ducking behind Wadsworth. Like I'm gonna watch everything from up here. It's okay. Up here. I'm good.
I'm safe up here.
Matt Justice still finds a way to brawl up the
all the way
steps.
up there.
Not flies. I'm thinking like he brawls, and then you're like by the railing, and he goes for a clothesline, and Dr. Daniel C. Rockingham ducks, and then you get clotheslined over it. But to brace your fall, it's going to be by where the punching bag machine is, so you have not as far to fall.
Still falling on metal. Not fun.
We have a rematch of the final 2 competitors of the Chandler Biggins Memorial Tag Team Tournament. # Duke Money versus the Weird World. And you know what? I got to go with my boys in Duke Money.
I'm also going with Duke Money.
No, man, Weird World. They don't really lose the music links, right? Did they have like a winning streak going on?
And they lost.
Yeah, they did, and then they went against Infinity Beyond.
Well, you got to win to get a new one going.
I think they still technically have one. Because I don't think granted, Wet Bandits was a while ago. But was Wet Bandits versus... Oh, wow. Oh, nope. They've lost twice. They also lost to the production with the PME. So the Weird World Experience. So technically there's kind of 2... I gotta go with Duke Money.
When you want to take an island, you must first burn the boat. You see, when you burn the boat, there's no going back. You have no choice but to go forward and take that island. And the boat can be anxiety, depression, fear. But for me, that boat was the production. You see, this goes all the way back to the Future Cup, where Frankie Flynn could have handed me a trophy, but instead he wanted to hit me in the back with it. And when I had an opportunity to face him one-on-one, he brought in a couple friends to help him out. And when I faced him again and took out those couple friends, he wanted to bring in Magnum CK. And when I took on Magnum CK, that same group of friends had to help out in some way. But I tried to be the bigger man and let the situation slide. And me and Hornswoggle went on to win the AIW Tag Team Championships. But that wasn't good enough, right? They want to jump Swoggle in the locker room when I'm not around. And then when I try to get Retribution facing Eddie Only one-on-one, it turns into a handicap match. So you know what? I got Derek Director this Friday. And I only got one thing to say to you. I'm coming to burn the f***ing boat.
Derek Director versus Mr. Fresh to Death himself, PB Smooth.
Mr. I still don't sleep.
Yeah, Mr. 4 hours of sleep.
Please go to sleep, PB.
Peanut butter's not winning.
Yeah, I gotta go with Derek. There's no way PB wins. PB has lost to Frankie, to Magnum, to Eddie. I mean, all he's got to do is lose to Danhausen and Derek. So, yeah, going Derek.
I will also go with Derek.
So that is all 10 matches. I don't think... Oh, no. I forgot the main event. Nick Gage versus Grado for the Absolute title. We're going with Gage. The only thing I want, though, make it like Grado and Colt versus To Infinity and Beyond, where there was actually points towards the end of the match. I was like, oh my God, they're going to win. Like, give me those moments. But, yeah.
Can we have a brawl over to Giant Eagle finally?
What's that?
Can we finally have the brawl over to Giant Eagle that everyone's been waiting for?
Nope.
Never.
But yeah, I think we're all in agreement. Nick Gage.
Yep.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right. That is all the matches for this Friday, June 22nd, 8 o'clock bell time. Music links, Grado and Dick's Excellent Adventure. Any final thoughts or last minute plugs before we go, Kayden?
Wrestling, yay. I'm on social media at KVR216 for pretty much everything.
How about you, Ed?
Twitter, Pod Van Dam. It's also a podcast sometimes. So check that out when we have a new episode up, when it happens. And, yeah.
What about your other podcast?
Oh, wow, yeah.
You're welcome.
Okay, good catch. Benefits of Podcasting. Follow it at Benefits Pod. It has nothing to do with wrestling. It's just other stuff.
Just other stuff.
Like we discussed what my dream cosplay is on one episode. And that was fun. Spoiler alert, it's a furry dressed as a human dressed as a furry.
My response is what? But then I understand that's the response you need, and I have to hear the explanation to fully understand every aspect about it. So
I painted a picture with words.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and of course, you can find myself at Heavyset330 on all of your social media, and you can find this show at Wrestling Cheers on all your social media, Facebook.com/Wrestling Cheers, Twitter.com/Wrestling Cheers, and Instagram.com/Wrestling Cheers. Email, if you so choose a desire, WrestlingCheers@gmail.com. We got the What a Maneuver store up. Buy yourself a Wrestling Cheers t-shirt, and then Monday, buy yourself a Fight Kayden fight shirt. Also, please rate, review, and subscribe. It's something we ask a lot for, and I know what you're thinking, like, yeah, I'll get to it, or nah, I don't feel like doing it. It kind of does help out the podcast a little bit. I don't want to say those so cliche words, but if you could take a moment, pause what you're doing, rate and review the podcast as a whole. If you're on, I know YouTube, it's a little bit different, but rate, review, please subscribe to us. Numbers are going up. It's very well appreciated. And we encourage people to come back and to learn more about, or be caught up more about, the Northeast Ohio independent wrestling. We know people love AIW. AIW is the main focus really of this show. We do other stuff. We talk to other people, but that's kind of the foundation of it all. Anyway, we are on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, YouTube, Spotify, and of course, found easily at WrestlingCheers.podbean.com on Podbean. And then check out all of our friends on the Trending Topics Network, like All Beer Inside, Lou Chat, European Showcase, Old School at the Movies, and Chill and the 450 Podcast. And then check out all of our podcasting friends, such as the Chris Clem's Cavs Cast, Wingcast, a Wingman podcast with Steve Guy, Let the Hate Flow Through You with Jeremy Shear and El Hordano Diablo. Pod Van Dam. Center Stage, that's SENTAR Stage. Super fantastic podcast, which we had Stacy on a couple weeks ago, and the first episode is officially been released. It is on iTunes. It's a good 2-hour episode, so if you're a fan of longer episodes, that's definitely in your wheelhouse. And he talks to a owner of a Youngstown-based toy store, and like a lot of like retro figures and retro toys and all that kind of stuff. It's a very fun podcast. Stacy was great on this show. He will come back eventually for future episodes, and please check out his podcast. It is worth it in my book. So like I said, check it out. We also have The Road Home from Wrestling, Kick Out at 2, The IndieCast, and Marks with Mics. And please check out all our other non-podcasting friends such as Thrift Store Jobber, Rebel Life Media, Set Tab Photo, Ringside Shots Photography, NEO Sports Insiders, and the official graphic designer of Wrestling Cheers, Moy Boy Designs. That will do it for us here on Wrestling Cheers, where everybody knows your name, especially if you're a teenage dirtbag. Later.
Making your way in the world today takes everything you got. Taking a break from all your worries, show